Hello everyone, how good of you to join. Welcome back to our megacity project Anno 1800, and well, in the attractive metropolis that is Crown Falls at the moment, we have lots of work to do, so let's get cracking right away. First of all, we do want to continue, of course, with our skyscraper development. Some of you have been complaining that I was upgrading too many skyscrapers at once, thus leading to the drop of balance. Well, two things for that. First of all, we have so much money that I really don't care about bigger fluctuations as long as I'm positive. And yeah, we lost like 2/3 of our income there for now, but also at, well, the advantage that we are progressing just a lot faster through the skyscrapers, and that is my intention. I don't want to drag this one out too much, and we can afford to develop the city faster than we could, or than what would be normal, right? We continue with upgrading a few more skyscrapers down the road, and one thing that we need now is Cognac. By the way, not only Cognac, but also the furniture store that we need to look out for. Those two things we will now need for upgrading our skyscrapers to tier 4, which is the second last tier before we can go for the monument. That would be my intention. So let's go ahead and go with the Cognac, our next production line. And for the Cognac, we do need a couple of things. So the first one is vineyards. We do need a cherry wood, and that is really good. We already have these things kind of like somewhere. So let's go ahead. Here in distant forest, we have our vineyards, right? So we only need to really expand them with the next warehouse. For that, however, I would probably like to move my train a bit. I mean, we do have these guys there. Then I've got my next lines here. What I'm going ahead, we are moving the tracks a bit down here, and now I can get ahead with another warehouse. We definitely should be having this in this region here somewhere. And let's go ahead, let's just see how many we need. By the way, how high is my Cognac consumption? I think we will be stuck around 0. Yep, it is 0 for now, so we don't really need that much of it. The difficulty is that we do need a lot of products, but none of them really in high demand, right? In huge quantities or something like that. We're not building the artisan workshop here because we do have that for Crown Falls. But what we can have here now is the cherry woods and the vineyards. And since I would probably like to go with 2 of them, since we can also boost them with electricity, 2 will be fine long-term wise. We can go ahead here now, and we need 4 vineyards for that and 2 orchards, cherry wood orchards. Actually, yeah, it's 2. Oh! That is in St. Clarence Hall, of course. Banquet destroyed one of our ships here, so I will need to move here with my battleship. We still don't have that many more battleships, but at least my schooner, as far as I can see, reached Archibald. Because we are always also doing the quest here in the background for the scholars that I would like to force as well. And yeah, for that we had to sail to Archie, and they want to meet up in order to discuss their terms, right? So we still are in the conflict between the Crown and Kitima and Enbesa. So there's going to be a banquet, and well, Kitima wants 5 tons of tapestry and 5 tons of dried meat. Now the dried meat we can provide, however, the tapestry we can also provide. Oh, that is a nice surprise, but it's going down. I did not expect this one really to be in high quantities. As far as I'm concerned, let's just check this one. It's actually 0. Because we looted the tapestry some time ago, and I was not expecting that we have some of it left. So let's go ahead and get the 5 tons of tapestries that we kind of like to have. Perfect. There you go. And 5 tons of dried meat. This one we can also easily take from our elders. And let's get this one over to Kitima. Now let's continue with our production here. So we already have these tractors there, so we should be fine with adding only 2 of them plus the tractors, right? We can still afford them. There we have them. They will get the fuel now from the fuel station, and with that we actually should be quite full. Oh no, we are not. Perfect. So those 2 are coming in handy, and they are producing a bit more. Perhaps let's build one more without the tractor barns, right? We can still afford them despite their high cost. The other one is over here now, our orchards, so we can have a couple more of them in this area, and they luckily produce quite a lot of that, so we don't need to have too many. However, I don't want to have only the minimum. I do want to have kind of like a buffer for us, so that we can work with a bit of a surplus there as well. So I'm going with 3 for now. That should be more than enough that we need, and I'm probably going to have it like here and this one there. Alright. those 3. We will be down on farmer workforce. So in this case here in Leary, we would need to expand our farmer population a tiny bit more. So we can go ahead and, wow, I really don't have that much space here anymore. I thought that I would have more space available. Now that we have them, we have also built a few more farmer quarters, so this should go up then over time again. We can also turn in now the quest in Beza for the Banquet. And, oh, pick up at Katima's Lighthouse a water pump blueprint. That is something that we need to get to Sir Archibald. There we have the blueprints now. I do need to get back out here again and once again in then again to trigger the quest once more.
A fire broke out.
And yes, it's Benta, of course, that is trying to annoy us there. I'm still purchasing the shares, by the way, in the old world that we can then use to lower her military score. Let's turn it in. Now let's go for the monitor. And after we destroyed it, we are going to Archibald.
Your harbor is under
And there's a
attack.
clipper, by the way, that we were going to need. Because we lost the schooner on the trade route here. A schooner is very slow, the clipper is faster, and it should survive a bit
Your
longer.
island is under attack.
And Tabarum is once again under attack. I can't see the clipper, unfortunately. What's the name of it? The Windless Sands. There you go. And boom. The ship is on its way. And there we are coming in with the battleship now. Yeah. She's taking out the salt all the time. The salt works. Now we can take this one down. And you're not going to flee. Ah! Easy? No, perfect. For a second I thought it would be going down. Not be going down. Let's get the blueprints over to Archibald. Now we also need to do something in Tristão, and that is expanding our sugar production that we have there, right? We do need the sugar then for the cognac. So once again, I need to check now how much sugar do we need for each cognac. Or for each cognac workshop that we have there. And we do need only 1 for 2 of them, right? And we're going with 2 for now. So once again, since I want to have a surplus production, let's go with 2 that we build instead of only 1. They can do this now. Do we already boost them? We don't. I think it was a bit too expensive there. It's fine. We could boost them by, let's say, 25%. It's only plus a -1 happiness there. We can afford that. And that's a bit more sugar coming in now, right? There we have the sugar. Now, I do need a proper trade route for all of this. We don't have, I think, an available cargo ship at the moment. There we have it, the Emerald Skies. So this one we can use on this trade route now on this very next one. And this one goes from Tristão over here to Distant Forest, and from Distant Forest to Crown Falls and vice versa. We're okay in Tristão, we are taking the sugar with us, and since it's a cargo ship, we can go ahead with 2 full storages. In Distant Forest, we are going to take the cherry wood. There we have it. And probably 2 times there too. And then we are also taking the grapes 2 times. Oh, sorry, that is actually Tristão. So there you go. And this one we can now use Emerald Skies on it. I'm not going to use the weight for goods because I think with the amount of it we might be leading to congestion then, as these are not high volume goods that we're transporting there. And this should be fine now for doing that. That's going to take a while for the cognacs or the materials for the cognac to come in, but we can already continue here with that. So we do have those multi-factories, the chemical plants that we have for the tourists really, right? It's the shampoo and stuff like that. We don't need that many really. That was just a placeholder. Let's get rid of 2 of them and instead have our cognac workshops then just here instead. This is going to be used now for the skyscrapers then. So I can basically have 2 here, and they should also be getting their proper boosting then for the electricity. This one at least, of course, this one doesn't, so we need to move it over. Otherwise, we are not getting any electricity. I might actually use it like that, because then I think it should be getting it perfect. There you go. Both of them have it, and we are not going to need more than that, because 1 would be already enough. We are having 2, and we can also boost them with electricity to power them as well. Now Princess Ching, as the usual thing that is happening from time to time, we don't care about that so much. Bente still doesn't want to do anything with us, but she might be soon. I'm also going to close off the cognac consumption for now, because I want to once again save up some of that resource. And the other thing that we do need now for my tier 3 investors, let's just check this one, is the furniture store. Right, the furniture store is another department, more or less like the department store. And for that, let's just have a look at that. It's also going to consume goods again to produce goods, and we do need to have a proper location for that. Where should we find this one? There we already have one department store, and the cool thing is they actually complement each other, right? So you can place them right next on top of each other like this, or next to each other, and this would fit kind of like. We could do it like that. Might do it at some point somewhere where we have the space. I don't want to delete too many buildings there. And I would also really, before I do anything else, really upgrade more engineers to investors. So let's go ahead with this whole bunch here. We can afford it workforce-wise, and we do need the influence. We're still really capped at influence levels there. It's insane, really. And we need more investors because of that. And I'm just trying to find me some more engineers somewhere. Here we have a whole row that we can still go with, and those guys here. We need to be careful, though, because we still need more engineers, of course, down the road for more productions then. Basically, now let's have a look around here once more. There is a warehouse, and I think this one here is being used for the restaurant there. It's not a very good location, obviously, so I might need to move this one then. This is actually looking pretty crappy there. I will have to look around. I'm just trying to find some space. Yep, let's actually move the warehouse for now. Let's move this one a bit to another area. I think here we could squeeze it in. There you go. So this is still reachable. Yep, it's still reachable for the restaurant and for the cafe. And over here now, I can now move these buildings here. And I'm going to move them over. There you go. And by the way, with a few additional panorama effects, we are at 110k again. So we are climbing slowly up there once more. Let's get rid of this road there, because I would like to have now my furniture store in this area. Where do we actually have the warehouse? There it is. So that should still be fine too. It's really tricky to combine all of these things together. That's perfectly fine though. And there we have the store. And let me just show you how it looks, because I think they're meant to work together. There you go. They're actually forming a plaza here in the center. It's not looking super ideal, to be honest. But since they're forming even a plaza there, and since they're kind of like symmetrical, I think this should be fine, right? Even though this is higher here due to the elevation, it's still okay. It's still okay that. So this is kind of like a big store where you can go to, a superstore. And in front of that, we might actually be having then some ornaments. So right here in this plaza area that we have, perhaps a fountain plaza. We could also have some spotlights, really. And why not to shine onto these skyscrapers there? Actually, I think we need to turn them around. There you go. And then some trees here. And during nighttime, it's looking fantastic as the department store is being illuminated by our spotlights. Also shining out there. Tiny bit. With the fountain right in front of it. Now for the department store, for the furniture store, we do need to choose our first product, the banker's lamp. Oh god. Oh, we have everything for that. How very nice. We do need the light bulbs, the glass and the brass. We have plenty of all of them. And they do further increase our income per house by 11%, the happiness by 4%, jewelry and light bulb consumption further reduced. We have a lot of products that reduce the consumption of those two specific goods. I guess it's well, a nice coincidence there. All right, it's getting its resources now. And once this one is working, those guys here will be having then their appropriate furniture store satisfaction. Let's just have a look around. So this is one. For this area, I don't have one yet. I would probably like to have a furniture store now over here. There we already have the department store, right? That has a huge range. And this one goes over there. So if I want to take them into account, and I want to, we will need to split it up this time. Actually, we don't, because the Oh, and the lamps are for sale now. The department store here is working up to this area there, right? So this is the area of influence. And then we have this department store that also goes into this area. So that is the only blind spot that we have, and that is fine because I don't want to have skyscrapers here right next to the industrial zone. This can work out perfectly fine. And then we have the furniture store, and as we can see, it actually goes all the way to the industrial wall. And once I'm going to build a second department store here, this will also go just where we need it, right? So this is basically here the end of the skyscrapers, because here we're just going to have normal buildings then close to the industrial zone. So we can actually have our furniture store here. I do, however, once again have some investors that we need to move. Sorry, pals. You're going to find yourself in a complete different location next day. So there you go, we have a bit more space again, and they're now over here on this block there. Alright, oh, investor says the writing desk can now be sold in the shopping arcades. So we have unlocked a new good, probably because we are pumping out more investors now in the tier 3 skyscrapers, right? Since this one has been fulfilled. That's something. Let's go ahead and have the furniture store now. This one is on the same level this time. Alright, so yeah, looking a bit better. I don't mind this layout there one bit. Here we do need another street around it. And here we have these tight city corners. We might actually make this one a 2 layered road. And here we can then have some ornaments. Oh, we still also need to do the market research. But that is something for later. I would really like to have a nice fountain here now, accompanied by perhaps some cherry trees on either side. And just look at how busy it is at the Iron Tower. Lots of people enjoy the day. We can also go ahead and upgrade us a few more skyscrapers, since we do have the required elevators once more. So I'm going ahead with those as the next ones. And that also leads to more tier 2 skyscrapers that we can have in this area. Oh, we are running out of windows now with all these upgrades. So that's that. That's a bit more. I've been dropping there again a bit, but it's still fine. Now, do we have everything in for the Cognac by now? I don't think so. I don't think we have the sugar yet. Nope, we don't. Okay, so there is time then to work again a bit on Africa. Over here, Archibald, my ship, of course, has arrived with the blueprints, and Archibald can now use the water pumps to moisturize his village. And as we can see, he's quickly expanding. So that was a little gift by Kitima. And let's start the escort. So we are now escorting this ship here to Kitima for the banquet. They can talk their terms. We can also continue meanwhile with expanding our tabernacle there just a tiny bit. We do have enough wands of timber. We also have, by the way, 150 mud bricks now. Quite a lot. And with that, we can definitely afford us a bit more city expansion than here. A few more houses in this area and a few more blocks than in this area. And I wonder, can we have... Oh yes, we can have paved roads by now, thanks to the mud bricks. There's a new type of paved roads for this village. Besides the normal expansion, we can of course also continue upgrading more people to elders. We should be doing that in order to unlock the monastery and other important goods that we're also going to need then for the quest lines. So probably this block here we can still upgrade, and this block here. There you go. And with that, we also unlock this building that we can then just conveniently place right here in the center of Tabrim. And I think we could now work on my paved roads as well. And I really do like that texture. And let's not forget some ornaments, of course, there as well for the horses, some water and some trees. Get some shade. And let's have the same thing on the other side. Really beautiful buildings. Unfortunately, we cannot go into the monastery there. It's still fine though. Alright, and also Archibald has arrived at Kitima.
Firing the engines. Sir Archibald will do, my good man. Your emperor will be expecting me.
And as we know, this banquet is probably not going to have a good ending.
Emissary for His Imperial Majesty and tasked with counseling him on this delicate matter.
So an alliance, that is not what they want.
How dare he think himself an equal to Her Majesty?
They rather think these people should be subjects to the Queen. And he is going away angrily once more.
Why did I ever agree to come back to these wretched shores? It's pointless.
And we do get the next quest here, official hospitality, the cuisine. So we do want to still make up for it, and well, we do want to give him the gift of food, and that's 2 tons of seafood stew. Now that is something that takes quite some time really to get cracking. We do need new productions for that. Also the lobster fishery that we don't even have on this island, this fertility. So that's that. Let's get back to Crown Falster once again because, because first of all, we need to purchase back this Sheridan here. And also because my goods have arrived, the sugar and stuff like that. So we can now go ahead with our first artisan workshop, Cognac. Let's build it. There we have it in all its glory, right next to the warehouse, already electrified, and it's now getting all the resources here to produce us some juicy cognac. Oh, I definitely would like to have a taste of that. Alright, and let's check another thing here. We are also looking very good on oil. Perfect. There's lots of oil coming in here at the moment. I wonder from where. I have one refinery, but it can't be that much oil. Doesn't matter really. It's looking good. That's all that matters to me. And the artisan workshop has started with producing cognac. Stay tuned.